Hello, and welcome to the countdown you never asked for, but we're delivering anyway. The top 10 most dangerous cities in the USA. Look, we all love a good listicle. And frankly, what's more compelling than a city where danger lurks around every corner? Okay, maybe a lot of things, but bear with us. We'll be diving deep into the grim underbelly of urban America, using recent crime statistics to rank these cities by their sheer capacity for chaos. Now, before you start planning your next vacation around this list, remember, statistics only tell part of the story. These cities are more than just numbers. They're complex ecosystems of history, poverty, and often a severe lack of resources. But that's a conversation for another time and quite frankly another show. For now, let's revel in the statistics, shall we? Detroit. Once the heart of the American auto industry, now, well, let's just say it's gotten a bit rusty. Detroit consistently ranks high on these most dangerous lists, and frankly, it's not hard to see why. We're talking violent crime rates significantly higher than the national average. Think assault, robbery, murder, the whole delightful buffet. And before you ask, yes, property crime is also through the roof. So if you're thinking of parking your brand new car on a Detroit street, maybe invest in a high-end security system first. But, hey, let's not be all doom and gloom. Detroit is a city trying to reinvent itself like a middle-aged man buying a leather jacket and a sports car. They've implemented various initiatives to combat crime, increase police presence, and revitalize struggling neighborhoods. Will it work? Time will tell. But for now, just know that if you're walking down a dark alley in Detroit, you might want to pick up the pace and maybe invest in a good pair of running shoes, and possibly a personal bodyguard. Look, I'm not saying it's dangerous, but I'm also not saying it. Next up, we travel to the heartland of America, to the city known for its iconic Arch St. Louis, Missouri. Now, the arch itself is quite lovely, a testament to human ingenuity and all that. But the city beneath it, well, that's where things get a little less architectural. St. Louis has been grappling with a stubborn crime problem for years. We're talking high rates of violent crime, particularly in certain neighborhoods. It's like a game of real-life Monopoly, where landing on certain properties comes with a significantly higher risk of getting mugged. And it's not just petty theft, folks. We're talking serious offenses here. The kind of stuff that makes you want to invest in a home security system so advanced, it could probably launch a counter-offensive against a small rogue state. But hey, it's not all bad news bears and grim statistics. St. Louis is home to a vibrant arts and culture scene, beautiful parks, and of course, that iconic arch. Just maybe admire it from a safe distance, preferably surrounded by a security detail trained in hand-to-hand combat. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading down south to Memphis, Tennessee. Known for its musical heritage, delicious barbecue, and, oh right, a rather alarming crime rate. Memphis, unfortunately, has earned its spot on this list, with violent crime rates that would make even the most hardened criminals say, okay, that's a bit much, even for me. We're talking assault, robbery, carjacking. It's like the whole city is set to a soundtrack of police sirens and wailing blues guitars. And the impact on the community is undeniable. Businesses are struggling, residents are living in fear, and the city's reputation has taken a hit harder than a bluesman's guitar string after a particularly soulful solo. But hey, let's not forget about the good stuff. Memphis is still a city with a rich history, incredible music, and some seriously finger-licking good barbecue. Just maybe pack some extra hot sauce, because the crime rate is already spicy enough. Chapter 4, Baltimore, Charm City, more like Alarm City. Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Chesapeake Bay, delicious crab cakes, and a whole lot of crime. Look, I'm not saying you can't enjoy a delicious crab cake without worrying about getting mugged, but... okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. Baltimore has been wrestling with a persistent crime problem for years. From drug trafficking to gang violence, it's like the entire city is playing a real-life game of Grand Theft Auto, but with far fewer laughs and significantly higher stakes. And before you ask, yes, the local authorities are trying to address the issue. They're increasing police patrols, implementing community outreach programs, and investing in social services. But like trying to put out a dumpster fire with a garden hose, it's a slow and often frustrating process. But let's not forget, Baltimore is also a city with a lot to offer. It's got history, culture, and those aforementioned crab cakes. Just maybe bring a can of mace with you when you go exploring, for seasoning. Chapter 5, Kansas City, more like Kansas City limits because you'll want to stay within them. Hold on to your barbecue sauce, folks, because we're heading to the Midwest, to the land of fountains, jazz, and a crime rate that might make you want to invest in a suit of armor. That's right, we're talking about Kansas City, Missouri. Now, Kansas City is known for its delicious barbecue, its passionate sports fans, and unfortunately, its rather alarming crime statistics. We're talking violent crime, property crime, you name it, Kansas City's probably got it in abundance. It's like the city's motto is come for the jazz, stay because you're too terrified to leave your hotel room. And it's not just petty theft, oh no, we're talking serious offenses here. The kind of stuff that makes you want to hire a personal bodyguard, preferably one trained by ninjas and fluent in 6 languages, including the art of diplomacy when encountering someone trying to steal your car. But hey, let's not be all doom and gloom. Kansas City also has a thriving arts and culture scene, beautiful parks, and of course that world-famous barbecue. Just maybe bring your own security detail when you go exploring, for extra flavor. Chapter 6, Cleveland, the rock and roll capital of, crime. Get ready to rock and roll, folks, because we're headed to Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, delicious pierogies, and a crime rate that might make you want to stage dive right out of this video. Cleveland, unfortunately, has been struggling with crime for years. We're talking high rates of violent crime, property crime, the whole shebang. It's like the city's soundtrack is a never-ending loop of police sirens and the sound of breaking glass. And before you ask, yes, the city is trying to combat this issue. They've implemented community policing initiatives, invested in social programs, and are working to revitalize struggling neighborhoods. But like trying to tune a guitar with oven mitts on, it's a slow and delicate process. But let's not forget, Cleveland is also a city with a lot to offer. It's got history, culture, and some seriously delicious pierogies. Just maybe bring your own security detail when you go exploring, for that extra layer of protection. Chapter 7, Little Rock, Big Crime in a Small Package. Don't let the name fool you, folks, because we're headed to Little Rock, Arkansas, a city with a big crime problem. Now, Little Rock is known for its southern charm, its role in the civil rights movement, and unfortunately its rather impressive crime statistics. We're talking high rates of violent crime, property crime, the whole 9 yards. It's like the city is stuck in a time warp, where the Wild West never quite ended and everyone's packing heat, except instead of saloons, they're robbing convenience stores. And before you ask, yes, the local authorities are trying to address the issue. They're increasing police patrols, implementing community outreach programs, and investing in social services. But it's like trying to herd cats with a feather duster, challenging, to say the least. But let's not forget, Little Rock is also a city with a rich history, beautiful parks, and a vibrant arts and culture scene. Just maybe invest in a personal alarm system before you go exploring, for peace of mind. Chapter 8, Milwaukee, more like Mill Crime Key, am I right? Please don't answer that. Grab your cheeseheads and brace yourselves because we're headed to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of beer, cheese, and a crime rate that might make you want to drown your sorrows in a giant vat of curds. Milwaukee, unfortunately, has earned its spot on this list with flying colors, and by flying colors, I mean crime scene tape and flashing police lights. We're talking high rates of violent crime, property crime, the whole shebang. It's like the city's motto is come for the beer, stay because you accidentally locked yourself in your hotel room out of fear. And before you ask, yes, the local authorities are trying to combat this issue. They're increasing police patrols, implementing community outreach programs, and investing in social services. But it's like trying to put out a grease fire with a water pistol. It's not going to end well. But let's not forget, Milwaukee is also a city with a lot to offer. It's got history, culture, and some seriously delicious cheese. Just maybe bring your own security detail when you go exploring, for that extra layer of protection. Chapter 9, Stockton, Sun, Fun, and crime. Pack your sunscreen and your bulletproof vest, folks, because we're headed to sunny Stockton, California, known for its waterways, its diverse population, and unfortunately its rather high crime rate. Stockton has been grappling with a stubborn crime problem for years. We're talking high rates of violent crime, property crime, the whole enchilada. It's like the city's motto is, come for the sunshine, stay because you accidentally dropped your wallet and are now too afraid to bend over and pick it up. And before you ask, yes, the local authorities are trying to address the issue. They're increasing police patrols, implementing community outreach programs, and investing in social services. But it's like trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon. A daunting task, to say the least. But let's not forget, Stockton is also a city with a lot to offer. It's got beautiful waterfront areas, a vibrant arts and culture scene, and a diverse culinary scene. Just maybe invest in a personal alarm system before you go exploring, for peace of mind. Chapter 10. Albuquerque Breaking Bad, more like breaking the law. Hold on to your Stetsons, folks, because we're headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Land of enchantment, delicious chilies, and a crime rate that might make you want to say my name to the nearest police officer. Albuquerque has been wrestling with a persistent crime problem for years. We're talking high rates of violent crime, property crime, the whole fiesta. It's like the city's motto is, come for the hot air balloons. Stay because you're too busy filing a police report to leave. And before you ask, yes, the local authorities are trying to address the issue. They're increasing police patrols, implementing community outreach programs, and investing in social services. But it's like trying to wrangle a swarm of bees with a butterfly net. Chaotic, to say the least. But let's not forget, Albuquerque is also a city with a rich history, stunning natural beauty, and some seriously delicious cuisine. Just maybe invest in a personal security system before you go exploring, for peace of mind. Outro. So, you still want to visit these cities? And there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of America's most statistically dangerous cities. Remember, these rankings are based on data, and data, much like a politician on election night, can be manipulated, misinterpreted, and occasionally just plain wrong. These cities are more than just crime statistics. They're vibrant communities with their own unique stories to tell. So the next time you see a headline about America's most dangerous cities, take it with a grain of salt, or perhaps a whole shaker full. Because while these cities may have their challenges, they also have a lot to offer. Just remember to be aware of your surroundings, take precautions, and maybe invest in a really good pair of running shoes, just in case. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a plane to catch to literally anywhere else. Thank you for watching our countdown of the top 10 most dangerous cities in the USA. Stay safe and be aware of your surroundings no matter where you are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content.